Which of the following can cause more damage while using a plane table for surveying?
Bravo! Climatic changes is the answer.
Surveying includes establishing points by predetermined linear and dash measurements. Correct. Angular is the right answer. Dash surveying is an important disciplinary field that serves construction projects. Well picked. Engineering is the correct answer. Which of the following classification in surveying is based on the instrument used? E.
Excellent. Topographic surveying is a brilliant choice.
Surveys of wide extent which take into account the spheroidal shape of the Earth.
On track. Geodetic surveying is the correct answer. Which of the following cannot be done with the help of theodolite in surveying? You got it? Your choice determining the area of ground is right.
How can surveyors account for atmospheric refraction in their measurements?
Sharp thinking. By using correction factors based on atmospheric conditions is the right choice. North direction on drawing sheet in plane table surveying is marked on dash. Well reasoned. Right-hand side top corner is the correct choice. The type of surveying in which the Earth is considered to be a flat surface.
Nice selection. Plane surveying is the correct and valid answer.
The principle of working from whole to part is used in surveying because... Valid point. Accumulation of errors is prevented is true. An instrument used in surveying to measure horizontal and vertical angles. You chose theodolite, and it is correct.
Which of the following presents is not affected for compass surveying?
On. Nice work. You chose wooden structures, and it is correct.
What are some common software used for data processing in surveying?
Strong choice. AutoCAD, Civil 3D, Trimble Business Center, ArcGIS is the right answer.
Which of the following is not part of in-chain surveying?
Nicely done. Compass is a solid answer.
Principle of surveying followed to prevent accumulation of error is... Exactly. To work from whole to part makes sense, and it is right choice. The three basic quantities that are measured in surveying are dash. Smart pick. Angles, height and distances is the correct choice. Which of the following processes has more accuracy in its output? Great thinking. Total station is the right choice. Type of surveying which determine the property line of a locality. Correct response. Cadastral survey is the most accurate answer. In traverse surveying, what is the purpose of a closed traverse? Right choice. To ensure accuracy and closure in measurements is the best answer. Which among the following is one of the principles of surveying? Great job. Working from whole to part is the accurate answer. What is the purpose of digital measuring equipment in surveying? You're right. To calculate square and cubic meterage is the correct answer. Geodetic surveying is different from plane surveying because of... Good job. Your answer, the curvature of the Earth, works well here. In which surveying, shape of Earth is taken into consideration. Clear. Logic. Your choice geodetic surveying is sound and 100% true.
What is the work carried to fix national and state boundaries? Excellent choice. Surveying is the right answer. How does interpretation of gravity surveying help geologists? Smart move. Locating potential mineral resources is an accurate answer. What is the primary function of a total station in surveying? Solid response. Measuring angles and distances is a valid choice. The type of surveying which requires least office work is? Well done. Plane table surveying is the right choice. In a magnetic area, which type of surveying can be employed? Perfect. Plane table surveying is the correct choice. How many number of arrows are required for chain surveying? Right again. 10 is a valid answer. What are the common units of measurement used in surveying? Good thinking. Feet, meters, degrees is the right answer. Which of the following is an indirect method of surveying? Right again. Tachyometry is a valid answer. What piece of surveying equipment is shown in the picture? Great job. Tripod is the accurate answer. What type of professionals are responsible for surveying? Good thinking. All of the above is the right answer. The use of acoustic techniques to acquire geological data. You chose seismic surveying, and it is correct. A benchmark uses which flagging color? You're right. Whitey blue is the correct answer. Which of the following is not a modern surveying method?
Perfect. Astrolabe is the correct choice.
What is the purpose of benchmarks in surveying? Nice work. You chose to transfer levels locally to the TBM, and it is correct. Local attraction in compass surveying may exist due to. Good job. Your answer presence of magnetic substances near the instrument works well here. How long have you dash the surveying industry trends? Well picked. Followed is the correct answer.
Possibility of error in plane table surveying is dash.
Nice selection. Less is the correct and valid answer. What are the two main types of surveying instruments?
Solid response. Theodolites and total stations is a valid choice.
How many types of chains are used in chain surveying? Sharp thinking. 5 is the right choice. Why is surveying important in construction projects? Well reasoned. To ensure the structure works and looks as intended is the correct choice. How many methods of plane table surveying are there? On track. 4 is the correct answer. What is the purpose of laser scanners in surveying? Correct response. To generate a 3-dimensional model is the most accurate answer. Discuss the types of theodolites used in surveying. Smart move. Optical theodolites and electronic theodolites is an accurate answer. What is the main objective of cadastral surveying? Bravo! To produce plans of property boundaries for legal purposes is the answer. What does gravity surveying provide to geologists? Excellent!
A picture of the subsurface geology is a brilliant choice.
How long have you dashed the surveying regulations?
Great thinking. Studied is the right choice.
Compass surveying is recommended when the area is. Well done. Large, undulating, and crowded with many details is the right choice. What equipment is used in gravity surveying?
Right choice. A gravitometer is the best answer.
What is the first step in the building process? Clear logic. Your choice surveying is sound and 100% true.
What is the purpose of hydrographic surveying? Valid point. To map coastlines and seabeds for navigation charts is true.
What is the purpose of engineering surveying?
Strong choice. To produce plans and control points for construction projects is the right answer.
Plan table surveying uses the methodology of. Exactly. Traversing makes sense and it is right choice. What are the measurements taken in surveying? You got it. Your choice distance, angle, levels, relative position, and relative heights is right. A sound receiver used in onshore exploration. Correct. Geophone is the right answer. Plane table surveying is a dash method. Excellent choice. Graphical is the right answer.
In surveying, how should 6 inches be noted?
Smart pick. 0.5 FD is the correct choice. What method is used when compass surveying? Nicely done. Traversing is a solid answer. The main principle of surveying is to work. Perfect. From whole to the part is the correct choice. How many meridians are used in surveying? Well picked. 3 is the correct answer. When did surveying as a profession begin? Right again. 3000 BC is a valid answer. Have you ever dashed a drone for surveying? Strong choice. Flown is the right answer. The main object of running a tie line is. Great job. To take details for detailed surveying is the accurate answer. What does gravity surveying measure? Good thinking. A changes in rock density is the right answer. A sound receiver used in marine seismic. Nice work. You chose hydrophone, and it is correct. Advantages of tachyometric surveying is. Well reasoned. All the given is the correct choice. Chain surveying uses the principle of. You chose triangulation, and it is correct. Plane table surveying is also known as. Nicely done. Graphical is a solid answer. How does gravity surveying work? Smart pick. A, by analyzing gravitational forces, is the correct choice. What is the principle of surveying? Nice selection. To work from whole to the part is the correct and valid answer. The basic principle of surveying is. Valid point. To work from whole to part is true. Chain surveying is well adopted for. Correct response. Small areas in open ground is the most accurate answer.
Basic principle of chain surveying.
Correct. Triangulation is the right answer.
In surveying, GPS can be used for
Great thinking. All the above is the right choice.
Travis in a surveying is dash. Sharp thinking. A series of connected survey lines is the right choice. Any two uses of surveying. Solid response. For preparation of contour and engineering maps is a valid choice. A brief emission of sound.
Excellent. Impulse is a brilliant choice.
Principle of surveying. Smart move. To work from whole to part is an accurate answer. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format? On track, contact Narayan Changder is the correct answer.